Welcome to the Coaches Show, and I'm Perry Williams, and along with Coach Brian McCauley. How are you today, Coach?
Doing great. How are you today?
Good, good. This weekend you kind of split, but you were at home against Zionsville, played a pretty good first half, and then the second half the wheels come off a little bit. But one good thing about it, you bounced back and you played very well up against Fort Wayne Snyder. Is that right?
Fort Wayne Northrop.
Northrop, that's right. Fort Wayne Northrop, and the one thing about that, you know, you outscored them, what, 22-5 in the fourth quarter?
Yes, it was a tremendous second half and particularly great fourth quarter.
That's a pretty big fourth quarter for the Millers, isn't it? Yeah. Let's talk a little bit. You're, you know, basically even for the season here at 6-7, but let's talk a little bit about the team and how, you know, of course, the trip up at Northrop a little bit different. Let's talk a little bit about some of the outstanding play in that game.
Sure. Well, the guy that really stood out individually was McGuire Plummer. He was really dialed in the entire game. I had great energy, had great poise, I felt, and really played his best game of the season, maybe his career. He had a double-double. He had 12 points and 10 assists. And he really took care of the basketball. He only had 3 turnovers, so 10 assists and 3 turnovers, and he played probably about 30 minutes. So after playing a tough game on Friday night versus Zionsville, to come back about a 2-hour bus ride and go up there and be dialed in was just a great effort by McGuire. He really led our program, led our team, I felt, in that game, and was a catalyst for us, particularly in the fourth quarter.
You know, the one good thing with a team like Noblesville that has quite a few seniors, okay, I think through their career they've learned that the next game is the most important game. So, you know, you gotta have a short memory in a game of basketball, but there's always another game that you can play and do better. And I think that's what that senior class showed on Saturday night.
They did. We challenged them that, hey, you know, it's a new day, it's a new game. We have to learn from our second half of Zionsville. We came in on Saturday morning, and the guys were down, rightfully so. We came in and we went over our game goals that we didn't meet against Zionsville, particularly in the second half, where, as you said, the wheels really came off, and it was really very disappointing. The guys were disappointed. We came in and watched the film and went over those things and said, hey, this isn't Miller basketball. Here's what we have to do, and here's who we are and what we need to do to be successful. And the guys, I thought, were very attentive. They embraced that. They knew that they fell short. We lost our patience in the second half against Zionsville. And a team like Zionsville, and most great teams, you have to be very patient defensively and offensively. And we lost our patience, and we tried to do it individually, and the dam broke loose. And we just got buried. So after having a 2-point lead going into halftime, 23-21, I believe, we got off to a very poor start in the third quarter. They scored the first 9 points. We had too many turnovers, and then in the fourth quarter, we played individual basketball, and we had to chase them. We fouled them. They shot 18 free throws for the game, and 12 of them were in the fourth quarter. So our guys came back. We refocused. And Coach Kite, one of my assistants, did a great job of preparing us for the scout report. We went over and watched film on Fort Wayne Northrop, got on the bus, went up there, and really battled for 4 quarters. You know, we didn't get off to a great start, unfortunately, against Fort Wayne Northrop. We were down 19-9 at the end of the first quarter. We left a couple of their shooters. 2 guys hit threes that weren't on the scout report as 3-point shooters. They got some minutes, and they hit a couple threes. So we found ourselves down 10. So we had to regroup and retool there going into the second quarter. And the second quarter was pivotal. We climbed back into it, made some baskets. Our defense improved. Our rebounding was a little bit better. And we found ourselves down 2 at half. And we challenged our guys. You know, we were the same scenario basically as the night before. Against Zionsville, we were up 2 and had a poor second half. Against Fort Wayne Northrop, we were down 2 and said, hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to grow here? What type of maturity we're going to show? And our guys really responded. A lot of that goes back to what you said. We have a senior-laden team, and they really responded. In the third quarter, we found ourselves down 4 at the end of the third, and then going into the fourth, as you said, we outscored 22-5. Max Flinching hit 2 big threes for us. Corey Mertens hit 2 big threes. We got several layups there when Fort Wayne North really started to have to apply a lot of pressure to get back into it. I think we were up 7 and went to a set, got 2 back-to-back layups and really expanded it. And then, as we said, McGuire Plummer was very effective and very focused and very good for us. And so it was a tremendous win for our varsity guys. Our 9th grade also went up there and had a great win. And then our JV team really played well, particularly in the third quarter, and they had a 19-point win. So it was a great evening, a great response to our game on Friday.
And that's always important in the whole program when you can go in somewhere and all 3 teams do well, because it is it's all about a program. It's not about one individual team, and that's how you build great programs. So, the one thing about it is with the type of basketball we play, patience has to be a big part of it. And if we get away from that type of game, we're in trouble.
It is. Patience is important in life. It's important for us in basketball.
Absolutely.
We just have to be disciplined, and our margin for error, as everybody knows, isn't really very big.
Right.
And we lost that margin in the Zionsville game, and it kind of showed. And there's been a couple key moments in every game, and most games, about 50% of our games, we've responded and performed well in that critical moment. And about 50% of our games, we haven't responded very well. And so that's why our record is what it is. But I think we've learned, I think we've grown, and I'm excited for this second half of the season to see how much improvement and play we can improve on. I do know one thing, that we want to be a team that nobody wants to play.
Absolutely.
And I think the Millers are that type of group. When an opposing coach is trying to prepare for us, I hope that he's thinking, man, I really don't want to play these guys, because we know it's going to be a tough game.
Absolutely. Now, I know the coaches only like to look at one game at a time, but we have a pretty good schedule coming up, and you play another, what I used to call back-to-backs, of course, coming this week with, you go to Frankfort on Friday night, and then Saturday Logansport comes here. And those are all things that are scheduled just to prepare yourself for tournament time, right? I mean,
Exactly.
it's just to get ready and to play good competition and have to put back-to-back games together.
It is. That's the whole point of a Friday, Saturday. That's what you have to do to win a sectional championship. So we will play on the road against Frankfort, and that'll be a great test for us. Our kids think they'll win. If you want me to get that real quick, we can get it out.
And then you got a good Hamilton Southeastern team coming up the following week, and then Brownsburg, which is another conference game. So, there's a good group of teams that we play here at the end of the season to get ourselves ready for tournament time.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. At Frankfort this Friday, and then we'll come back with a great Logansport team, and then we play the following weekend. We've got HSE on the road, and they're one of the better teams in the state. And then we come up with Brownsburg and Mount Vernon and Hamilton Heights and Avon, and so we've got a great test, a great opportunity to continue to improve and hopefully make improvements and show progress and be at our best when our best is needed, which is the end of February and March, and that's what it's all about. So that's our goal, and we'll have that opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Coach, one thing we didn't get to talk about last time we had our talk, but I wanted to get it in this time, is it's very, very difficult to be a high school basketball coach in the state of Indiana because of all the history and tradition of basketball and what it means to every community in the state. But the one thing that maybe eases the pain a little bit for you is the coaching staff that you have. Let's talk a little bit about those guys, because they're kind of unsung heroes, really.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, I have a tremendous staff, I really do. They're great guys, they're a lot of fun to be around, they love the game of basketball, they're really important to our program. And BJ Kite has been a tremendous assistant for me. He has been here, this is his 3rd year, this is my 3rd year. He knows Noblesville, he has been here quite some time. He knows the players really well, and he's got high energy, and he really knows the game of basketball. He was under Coach McCauley for a number of years. He played for Coach Miller, who was at Lawrence Central, and just a legendary coach.
Absolutely.
Coach Miller coached Alan Henderson at Brebeuf
Yes.
when they were really good. So BJ Kite has done a great job, and I really appreciate him and what he brings to our program, his energy level and his intensity. My next assistant is Dan Nicholson. Noblesville people are very familiar with Dan Nicholson. He played for the Millers under his legendary dad, head coach, Dave Nicholson. Dave's a WHMB color analyst and Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame member. So Dan knows the game of basketball. Last year he was our 9th grade head coach and did a tremendous job of helping our guys grow and improve. And by the end of the season they were really playing well, and they won the 9th grade HCC tournament. So that was a great accomplishment for our program. I really appreciate Dan, his calm demeanor, his approach to the game, his wisdom, his organization, and his just willingness to do whatever is asked of him. He's just a guy that just completely gets it and understands it. He himself was a very successful head coach. Not a lot of head coaches have the opportunity to have assistants that have been a head coach and successful head coaches. And Dan is both of those. He's a great assistant. He was a tremendous head coach. He coached at Lebanon, I believe, 7 years.
Yeah.
Of those 7 years, I believe Lebanon won their conference 6 of those 7 years. I think he won 3 sectional titles during that time period. And he also was an assistant under J.R. Holmes, the legendary coach at Bloomington South. So played for a Hall of Fame coach. So Dan is just, he's a unbelievable resource for us.
And probably was in the gym probably when he started walking,
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
Knowing Dave and,
Yeah.
and his love for the game, and that's what Dan is, you know, he's a basketball
Junkie.
guy, yeah.
He's awesome. So BJ, Kite, Dan Nicholson, then our JV head coach is Corey Taylor, and Corey is a new addition to our staff, and what a tremendous pickup for Noblesville High School, Noblesville Community, Noblesville basketball program. Corey comes from Champaign, Illinois. He's married to his wife Tyla. They have a 2-year-old daughter, Morgan, and Corey was highly involved with the high school program in Champaign at Champaign Central. He spent 5 years under the legendary head coach Wayne McClain. Wayne McClain was a longtime assistant at the University of Illinois under Bruce Weber when they were really good. During that run with like D. Davis and Augustine, and they went through most of the season undefeated, if you remember that year.
Yeah, that was a great team.
Yeah, so they had a tremendous team. Anyway, Wayne McClain was the assistant during that time at U of I. Wayne McClain got out of coaching in college and came back to Champaign and coached at, I believe, Champaign Central. That's where Corey Taylor hooked up with Wayne McClain, and they coached together for 5 years. And unfortunately, Wayne McClain passed away of cancer, and Corey Taylor got out of coaching a little bit, and he stayed involved in individual skill instruction. During that time, he was an individual coach to Jay Simpson. Jay Simpson then went on to play at Purdue. Most recently, probably within the past 5 years, I don't know if you remember Jay Simpson. He's about 6'10", played at Purdue, but unfortunately he got a heart condition. He had to stop playing at Purdue without finishing there. So Corey then has been involved in Purdue basketball, and I got to know Corey through Purdue basketball.
Oh, okay.
And the associate head coach at Purdue there, which is, well, his name's escaping me right now, I'm sorry, but so Corey looked at Purdue, or was at Purdue, and looked at Noblesville and said, hey, this is a great place. And so he and his wife moved here. He's a teacher within our PE department and has done a great job with our JV guys and helping them improve and grow and grow in their confidence. And it's really a blessing to have Corey here and his family. So he's done a tremendous job. Then our 9th grade coach, Lance Scheib, everybody knows Lance. He's a longtime football coach here, and he's done a nice job this year. He's had a lot of energy and had a lot of fun coaching our 9th grade, and then also with our 9th grade assistant, Damien Hunt. So that's our staff, and I'm really appreciative of them and what impact they've made on our kids and our program.
Yeah. You know, the one great thing about it, and the thing you mentioned too, is and not a whole lot of people, you know, sometimes don't realize that all of you guys are educators first and coaches second, even though it doesn't seem like that sometimes. But, you know, you do have a job to do in the classroom, and it's always important that you have a good coaching staff that can be good mentors to all your players and know them and understand with them.
I agree. You know, it's kind of like having, in my opinion, 2 full-time jobs.
Sure.
With teaching and with coaching. They're both full-time positions, and so you're working at two full-time jobs, but you know, that's what we signed up for, that's what we love, and it's what we do, and it's a lot of fun. You know, just like in the classroom, you try to have objectives and preparation and accomplish your goals and try to meet the needs of the students. The same thing, you know, John Wooden always used to say that his classroom, his laboratory was the court.
Right.
And that's the way we treat it. You got to come with a lesson plan every day and some objectives and goals, and you got to meet the needs of the players and figure out what works for them and what doesn't work. And it's always a fluid process. It's always changing, and there's no cookie cutter solution. If it was, you know, it'd probably be a little bit simpler. But we're dealing with humans, and everybody's different, and everybody has certain needs and strengths and weaknesses. So it's a daily fight, and a fight in a good way.
Absolutely, and I think that athletics, let's face it, probably the players that we have in any sport are probably not going to end up playing professional sports. Maybe we'll be gifted and have maybe 2 or 3 in our career that had that happen to them, but at the end of the day, sending out good citizens into the community, into the country is what you thrive for, and basketball and the classroom is the way you do it.
Yep. Absolutely. I remember one time at Brownsburg High School, the head coach there said, you know, none of you are going to end up playing in the NBA, but Gordon Hayward happened to be sitting there in the NBA. But
that doesn't happen, you know.
Exactly. I think you might have, you know, maybe 0.5% of people end up playing professional sports, if that. So all of us are going to go in, we're going to be professionals in something other than sports, you know. So the discipline that we learn, and the way to work with others, and the teamwork and the humility and fighting through adversity, and how to plan and deal with conflict, all those skills that you can learn through sports is what it's all about, and how you can apply that to life. Yeah. So one coach told me one time that sports, it's the greatest thing because it's the closest thing to being real life except being real life. You deal with, and so you got to keep in mind that it's not real life, so it's not life and death, so you don't have to go overboard. But at the same time, everything you face in sports, you kind of face in life, and how you deal with it in sports is kind of a reflection of how you're going to deal with life. So hopefully you can learn those skills to make you a better person. And so that's what it's really all about. And our guys have responded well, and we'll keep trying to grow.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Coach. Appreciate you taking time out to talk to us here on a day where school's not even in session. But I'm sure you got a lot of homework to do here to get done.
We do. Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity. This is great. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Hey, sorry.